A very good afternoon. Thank you so much for watching UBC TV Inspiring Uganda. You are watching UBC Lunchtime News, and in our top stories today, Uganda will host the 8th African Population Conference this November. Now, State Minister for Planning and Economic Development, David Bahati, says the conference will provide an opportunity for networking and knowledge sharing between researchers and policymakers.
In recognition of the prevailing population and development dynamics on the African continent, the forthcoming 2019 Union of African Population Studies Conference, due in Kampala next month, will focus on the theme, Harnessing African Population Dynamics for Sustainable Development, 25 years after Cairo and beyond.
Africa, in general, is a very young population, is a very young continent. About 40% of the population is below 15 years of age. And an additional 30% falls between 15 and 24 years. This demographic profile presents a unique opportunity to achieve massive socio-economic transformation through harnessing demographic dividends.
The State Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, David Bahati, announced that the November conference is an opportunity for Uganda to showcase its population and development-based practices.
Life expectancy in Uganda has increased by 20 years in one single generation, from 43 years in 1991 to 63.3 years in 2017. Infant mortality rate per 1,000 reduced from 122 in 1986 to 43 in 2016. Maternal mortality ratio per 100,000 live birth reduced from 506 in 1986 to 336 in 2016.
Uganda has made progress in population and development.
Fertility was 20 years ago was 7.4. It has now come to 5.4. Uganda has reduced fertility by 2 children in 20 years. This is important and it is a good achievement.
The conference will host in one of the youngest nations in the world, with over 70% of Uganda's population under the age of 30 years. The question, however, is how best can the country use its young population into a productive workforce? Bernard Higa, UBC.
Uganda Broadcasting Corporation is to partner with top Chinese movie production companies to improve its content. This was disclosed during a visit by a delegation from China Radio and Television Department. Alongside Daylight Entertainment Company paid a courtesy visit to the corporation to showcase their content and how the national broadcaster can tap into their talent to improve Uganda's film industry. The Deputy Managing Director, UBC's Maurice Mugisha, hosted the guests.
UBC was very fortunate today to receive a delegation from the China Radio and Television Department. The department had with them 4 different production houses that produce series, dramas and movies. We were very fortunate to be shown some of the content they've produced, and they even immediately offered to provide this content for UBC to share on their platforms. We appreciated the interest in working with UBC, first of all. We also did appreciate their interest to share their content with us. And we were amazed at the quality, we were amazed at the storylines that are available. It's really almost what our audiences have been asking for. But we had also our interests as UBC. One was that we can work with them on joint productions, where they could actually send teams here or send part of their production houses here to be able to produce content on Uganda, about Uganda, our culture, our tourism, and that was an area of interest for us. We also thought that it would be an opportunity for them, through what we had watched and seen with the quality of production, to build our skill and work with our staff to try and improve our production capacity in-house. And we think it would be nice for our producers, our video editors, our content generators to share their experience with the Chinese team, to be able to pick some learnings, but also understand how far they have come. One of the production houses has been producing series and dramas for over 20 years. That was of interest to us because that amount of skill that they've built over 20 years would be important for an organization like UBC.
My name is Franklin. It's the one who take charge of Uganda branch, start-time Uganda branch. So today I bring the Chinese government team and some media company to UBC. The purpose is establish the partnership and exchange the ideas. Maybe in the near future we can work together, yeah, and make some changes and improvement between China and Uganda about the dramas, the TV series, like that. Yeah, that's all.
Well, there you have it, and definitely our content will be improved. Uganda Association of Artisanal Miners and Federation of Artisanal and Small-Scale Miners are seeking compensation of eviction damages sustained during the unlawful eviction. During an interaction with the Natural Resources Committee of Parliament, Artisanal Miners told that committee that they lost everything during the forceful eviction in 2017. Take a look at the story.
Last month, miners under the Association of Artisanal and Small-Scale Miners petitioned the Speaker of Parliament, protesting unlawful eviction in favor of one investor, Gamestone. A group of affected artisanal miners from Mubende, while appearing before the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources, claim injustices during the eviction process.
The army came into the mines and they gave 2 hours to all miners to vacate the place. You could only carry what you could have in your hands. Even if you had money, everyone was running for their lives.
They took our belongings, the army trucks, because they gave us only 2 hours to leave the mines. Sometimes some of us don't want to recall what happened because it was very painful.
About 25,000 artisanal miners are believed to have been evicted from the 205 square kilometer site by some security forces. They are seeking compensation for damages and want government to compel the investor to surrender at least 1 square mile.
The committee recommends that the investor surrenders at least 1 square kilometer out of 144 that the company holds in our former areas of work.
Exploration license by Gamestone International, at least 5 square kilometers be given to artisanal miners in their current areas of work to reduce conflict between local artisanal miners and the investor whom the government intended to protect.
The current Mining Act, however, does not define artisanal mining, yet artisanal miners constitute 70%.
And we were saying government should expedite the mining policy review process, which government did actually, but now we are looking at the Minerals and Mining Bill.
The government should come up, especially the ministry, should come up immediately and work on the policy to protect the artisanal miners. Otherwise, what we are heading for the disaster. These people are being treated as animals. They don't look at people as human beings.
Some of the problems that we are having now could be because of the law that is in force at the moment. So that's something that would be very keen to look at.
However, Parliament is now moving towards amending the Mining Act to cater for artisanal miners. Susan Naonga reporting for UBC TV.
Now, Makerere University is in advanced stages to launch a mobile app to aid in weather forecast. Spearheaded by the College of Agriculture and Environmental Studies at Makerere University, Dr. John Wasige, the proprietor of the mobile app, says it will help farmers to make farming decisions in real time. The innovation has been tested at various parts of Uganda and has registered success. Wasige says the smartphone application is a step forward to address the situations like drought and other related harms. He now calls upon government to adopt the innovation.
This app is a result of work which is sponsored by USAID and the National Foundation of Science of the US. This arose as a need to bridge the gap between agriculture production and climate change, climate extreme events. We are in the part of the world where the climate varies so much, but also we don't have enough meteorological stations coverage, but also transmitting weather and climate information to farmers is an issue we grapple in this country. So with help from USAID, we're able to get funding where we pull real-time weather information from global databases and be able to provide it by location. The difference here is that we are able to, we have now a data stream, a channel that can provide this information now by location. Apparently, my good friends from UNUMA, we've been talking, and they have done some good work, but they still don't have a smartphone application that provides information by location. But also, through this application, we are able to provide information for 16 days, for a length of 16 days period. So this is now another innovation that adds to the efforts of UNUMA. Basically, this project was targeting to transmit information directly to the farmer by location. When you realize the coverage of mobile phone is moving very fast in Africa, actually each institution is trying to link development to mobile phone services. We are looking at also farming as a business. So maybe a farmer has to make an initial investment of having a smartphone. But the good thing that farming groups now have phones and they are also sharing. We have also been able to reach farmers by groups.
From that story, many families in Uganda are beginning to cultivate small plots of land as the quickest way to end household poverty. UBC visited Chinawataka zone near Nambole Stadium where Farouk and the father owned a small piece of land where they grow vegetables for sale. Take a look.
Intensive agricultural practices on a small piece of land are becoming common as unemployment tightens grip on families.
Tuli gurupu tuwera abantu abawera amakumi asatu abatambuza ekibiina kyaffe kye tukolamu tukubazi buloka tulunda ebyennyanja tulima embogezo kwegamba tukola ebintu bingi nnyo naye tubulamuuko omukono.
But here at Chinawataka near Nambole Stadium lives a family that grows vegetables for sale to residents.
Era buli kikopo ky'akakanyanya akaganda tukitunda 3,300 tunayizimba emboga tutandikira ku siringi 10 tukunyogerako ebikola ne tukuwa entule z'olukumi ne tukuwaako obutula zituwaddeko naye ennyanya tutandikira mu kikopo. Abantu bajja era babugula ne babutwala ne babulya.
On this small plot of land, the family has established a vegetable garden made up of a diversity of vegetable species.
Project kola byakatonaako nze kekanyamba era n'abale babaagala obakolera ka project yako bakubira zibbeedi oteekamu fertilizer eyo biki buli kimu wekuli wano.
Farouk's garden is strategically located by the roadside, which makes product marketing and access easier.
Nze ebintu byange abayise be babigula era kyova olaba mbirimira ku kkubo olw'okuba nti ayise n'emmotoka yalaba ekintu kubanga mbaana kirimira emyezi mingi myaka mingi kikula kyemalirira akiraba bulabi n'akiyitako n'akigula.
So, apart from ensuring a steady supply of body-building foods, backyard gardens like this help urban families live quality life. Alex Wandeva and Pathias Karikona reporting.
State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, said in the next financial year's education budget will prioritize rolling out early grade reading in the remaining 113 districts. He was flagging of implementation of Phase 1 of early grade reading project in Kampala district. Currently, over 8 million learners from 27 UTSEP beneficiaries have improved reading skills. Details follow.
The Uganda Teacher and School Effectiveness Project, implemented under Ministry of Education and Sports, is funded by Global Partnership for Education. It supports the early grade reading project, where teachers in 29 districts have trained to help pupils in lower classes learn how to read. 17,000 teachers from 2,727 primary schools have been trained in effective teaching.
We visited the early grade reading beneficiary schools in Norwa, Maracha, Oyam, Kaliro, Iganga, not to mention Mwende, many districts. You will see for yourself that the lower primary school teachers there in these districts are a class above. They excel in the delivery of their work. They are very confident, vibrant, and more competent.
The project also provided 13 million copies of English, mathematics and local languages to improve the textbook to pupil ratio from 14 pupils per textbook to a textbook per pupil. Provided 10,054 metallic boxes for storing and enhancing security of textbooks. It has also improved supervision and inspection. The teachers and learning environment has also improved.
Our work around construction has also resulted in increased enrollment by over 10,000 learners in 104 schools, where the figures were readily available. This is an increment of over 25%. You notice that because of the good environment that they are now learning from, our learners are beginning, as I've already stated, they are beginning to love school.
Meanwhile, with support from Stuckey Hearing Foundation, Ministry of Education and Sports has handed over specialized hearing aid equipment to Ministry of Health.
So the learners referred shall not be charged for assessment in these hospitals. Together with the Ministry of Health, we should continue to popularize the program in districts so that learners with hearing problems can be properly assessed and given the right redress for their needs.
And just the simple act of removing wax from somebody's ear can be a miraculous, life-changing situation for many children, because once that child is able to hear, now they are able to develop, they are able to learn, and all of a sudden one person affects an entire community.
Equipment that includes diagnostic audiometers, tympanometry, and audio dynamics with accessories were handed over to the directors of 6 referral hospitals.
Based on the presence of an ENT surgeon, so the equipment definitely put in good use. The facilities are also teaching institutions, which means that it also provide teaching, and also so there will be learning. So we have heard definitely there will be referral, and that's where many patients have.
I was excited when I saw the list of equipment. Here's even equipment which can test for us those types of hearing impairment which are beyond repair, or which are beyond, which are not correctable using the hearing aid. So,
the director of Moroto. Moroto, for you, I have not visited Moroto. Moroto now is a very revamped hospital, and also we are constructing an ENT and high facility in the hospital.
I'm Nafka Farida and Sana Anet reporting.
We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more news for you.
to hash. Get 100% on data and bonus. Win instantly with Mega Master Pay. Just recharge and hit your target. Kati Richawati.
Mega Masape from Airtel is back. And everyone, we mean everyone, gets a bonus. All you have to do, check your target, recharge, get 100% bonus on data and minutes. Dial *162# today to know your target.
Airtel, the smartphone network. Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998 with a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda. We created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
Inspirational moment with Pastor Jackson Senyonga of Christian Life Church, Kampala.
The thoughts you have had until today has brought you to a position where you are now. If you want to change your situation, you gotta go back to what bound your mind, held you captive, rambled your thinking, and made you think that everything that you are has already happened. No way. More is possible. Tomorrow is going to be better. You haven't even reached 20% of your capacity. No way. There is 80% that you haven't seen in your life and your church and your ministry and your business, in Jesus' name.
My first 4G smartphone from Airtel is back. It's bigger, better, and comes with 5 GB free data per month for 3 months. At only 200,000 Uganda shillings, enjoy fantastic features on the phone, like the face unlock feature, long battery life. Mwana, ka volume keko. Live your life in 4G with my first 4G smartphone at only 200,000 Uganda shillings and get free 5 GB data every month for 3 months. Visit the nearest Airtel shop, dial *175*9# to enjoy free data. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Still watching UBC Lunchtime News on the 18th of October 2019. In more stories, the second annual symposium on intellectual property, technology and innovation is slated for next week in Kampala. President Museveni is expected to take part in the 2-day symposium, which will tackle issues concerning the innovation and technology sector in Uganda. KTA Advocates, a prominent law firm, is at the helm of the symposium, which is the second of its kind, accompanied by different stakeholders like the Infectious Disease Institute, Agribusiness Development Center, Uganda Law Society, EcoBank, among others. The symposium also comes at a time when the industry faces a lot of challenges with the recent decline by government to disown the operation of cryptocurrency in Uganda.
So just briefly, in terms of the format of the conference, it will be a 2-day conference. We'll have very many speakers. The judiciary and of course Uganda Law Society, we're really trying to embrace innovation and moving forward. And I know the society in the past, even the judiciary has received a lot of criticism from the public, in terms of we're still living in the 19th century or whatever. But at least I'm happy to inform you, as Fiona has mentioned, that we shall be filing documents electronically and serving documents electronically. So we shall be having the judiciary that will be represented at the symposium. One of the chairs, I think Justice Godfrey Chirawire, will be coming to speak to you, to explain to you about the e-justice project, how it affects you as the ordinary Ugandan, and how it's going to make it easier for you to be able to access court and have access to justice.
To really find out new things about what is affecting the health of our population here in Uganda, and what innovations and what interventions we can do to improve people's health. However, this is health information that belongs to individuals and belongs to people. And so the reason that we're interested in the legal side of this is we have to protect our patients and we have to protect their confidentiality, and we have to do everything within the regulations that are available to us and there to protect our patients. So really we are interested in health innovations for improving health in Uganda, but we want to make sure that this is done safely and confidentially.
For us, we're looking at how innovation and technology is impacting the youth, the young generation. So what we're looking at the conference is how is it going to improve their livelihood and how is it going to create new job opportunities for them, because that's the biggest problem that we're having right now. For the foundation, that's our biggest
For that deal with the law right now.
A senior White House official has admitted military aid to Ukraine was withheld partly to pressure Kyiv to investigate allegations of the Democrats in the 2016 election. According to Chief of Staff Meg Mulvaney, said President Donald Trump had mentioned democratic corruption, but Mr. Trump was also concerned about wider corruption in Ukraine, he said. Mr. Mulvaney later backtracked on his earlier remarks, saying the media had decided to misconstrue my comments. Meanwhile, President Trump said he had a lot of confidence in Mr. Mulvaney, describing him as a good man. Now, the question of whether military aid for Ukraine was withheld in exchange for a quid pro quo to investigate Donald Trump's political rivals is central to an impeachment inquiry against the president. The White House has denied any such conditions were imposed. Briefing reporters on Thursday, Mr. Mulvaney gave a lengthy answer to a question about Ukraine, saying the president had told him Ukraine was a corrupt place and that Mr. Trump didn't want to spend aid and have them use it and line their own pockets. In more international news, the new deal is largely the same as one agreed by Theresa May last year, but it removes the controversial backstop clause which critics say could have kept the UK tied indefinitely to EU customs rules. Northern Ireland would remain in the UK's customs union under the new agreement, but there would also be customs checks on some goods passing through en route to Ireland and the EU's single market. The winning post for votes in the House of Commons is 320 if everyone turns up. 7 Sinn Féin MPs do not sit and the Speaker and 3 deputies do not vote. There are currently 287 voting Conservative MPs. The Prime Minister needs to limit any rebellion among them. Now, then, if the DUP will not support his deal, he will need the backing of 23 former Conservative MPs who are currently independents. Most will probably support the deal, but not all. That is still not quite enough, though, so the PM will also need the backing of some Labour MPs and ex-Labour independents. In March, when MPs voted on Theresa May's deal for the 3rd time, 5 Labour MPs backed it, plus 2 ex-Labour independents.
Fantastic new deep and special partnership that we want to build. Yes, of course, it does also contain important provisions and commitments that this country gladly makes about our determination to maintain the highest possible standards, both for the environment and for social protection. We make those commitments gladly, and they're entirely right for our country to.
That brings us to the end of our UBC Lunchtime News on the 18th of October 2019. My name is Sharon Chomdisha. Do join us again for news in Luganda, in Swahili and English, coming your way in the evening. Have a lovely afternoon.
This weekend on UBC.
My name is Mkayo Hannington, winner of the NSSF Friends with Benefits Season 2. I used my winnings to boost my agricultural production and give a chance to the people in my community to work.
So join us this year for the 3rd season of the NSSF Friends with Benefits, as 16 Ugandans share inspirational stories on how they use their NSSF benefits to do life-changing things. So tune in every Sunday with your hosts, Gaetano and I, and special new host, Uncle D. It's another incredible display. It's the NSSF Friends with Benefits.
And that's not all. You have the power to vote for your favorite stories to win up to 55 million shillings, just like Huntington. This show is brought to you by
NSSF, a better life.